This is a podcast presented by
Hard to Find Media.
Subscribe to Hard to Find Media on youtube.com/Hard to Find Media Network. This shit is free. Share it. Blast it.
Hello, you're listening to Actions on Purpose, a weekly radio show dedicated to covering the ins and the outs of the DIY scene of Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, and beyond. My name is Danny, and we are broadcasting from the AOP studios, AM 1045. With me this week is special guest host Kay. Kay, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Not too bad. What's been going on?
Well, yesterday I had to kick out a woman from the cafe that I work at for eating nachos in the cafe.
What's wrong with eating nachos in the cafe? Tell me.
Well, I mean, I have never worked at a place, especially a cafe, where you would bring in your own food, regardless, especially if we sold food.
It's usually a faux pas right off the bat.
Yeah, but then when you're bringing in nachos from the Mexican place next door,
Do you think
it gets a little out of hand.
Do you think she was kicked out of the Mexican place next door for doing something, and that's why she had to come to the
That would
cafe?
actually be hilarious. I think she was actually coming over to use our Wi-Fi, so I kindly informed her that our Wi-Fi does reach the Mexican restaurant, and I've used it many times at the Mexican restaurant. But she also just sat down and didn't even order a coffee. So she just sat down, opened her computer, and started eating nachos.
Did someone alert you to this, or did you just see
I
this?
saw it. It was like right in front of the register, like the seat right there.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
If she would have offered you some of her nachos, would you have let her stay?
I'm gonna say yes, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
All right,
why not? If there's something in it for me.
This was also your first record store day weekend. Record store day, working at a record store.
Yeah.
Working at a record store.
Yeah.
How did that go? You work at Sonic Boom.
Yes.
How did it go?
It just happened all day. It was nonstop. I was still checking people out for non-record store day purchases even until we closed. Even a little after we closed. But yeah, It was a lot of like, we got a lot of the like, oh, I've never even been here before. It's a very like, this is new. I don't know.
I would say this year we had more dads with a lot of silver ponytails.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was because there was that Bruce Springsteen box set.
I was going to ask, which release do you think caused it?
I think it was Bruce Springsteen box set. Because every year Dave Matthews Band's released something, and every year we get those fanatics.
Yes.
But I think it was that, because there's nothing else really that was that classic rock that I think would bring them. Go ahead.
Did you get anything from the RSD stockpile?
There's a few things that I wanted that I said if they're still around on Sunday, I would take home with me.
That's what I said, too.
Yeah, there's a Nigerian Soul 45 box set, but we didn't have any left. I did get, it's 60s psychedelic music from Burma, Golden Guitars,
Gotcha.
or Golden Guitars of the Golden Triangle. That's what it's called. Yeah, that was really good. But besides that, I mean, there's nothing. I didn't need a Patti Smith single for $10.
Yeah.
I didn't need a one-sided Pink Floyd record with one song.
I feel like the 7 inches did not sell as well, but that's like a trend anyway.
Do you prefer LPs?
I love 7 inches. I'm a 7-inch girl.
So you don't prefer LPs?
I mean, I do if the whole album is good, but there are so many instances in which I would just be like, let's jam this single, and especially for DJing.
Well, I mean, because if you like whole LPs, there is a fantastic LP coming out this May 9th by Seattle's own Stickers, which in the studio is drummer, shredder, Emily. Hello, Emily.
Hi.
I was saying this before. I feel bad. I've realized that I've had every member of Stickers on but you. I don't know how exactly that happened.
Saving the best for last.
Saving the best for last. And we're going to talk more than just Stickers, but let's start off with that. So how did you end up being in Stickers?
Well, the story of stickers. Oh, this is great. When you asked me to be on this podcast, I had no idea what the fuck I was in for, but this is great. I love stickers so much, and this story is epically romantic. Stickers started really like with my relationship with Gabby Pagefort. When I met her, our meeting was weird and chance, and she's so incredibly special and unique, and she's the type of person that when she talks, like, especially when we first met, it took me a long time to really just understand Gabby. Her language is poetic and loud and abrasive and weird, but she's wild and she's up for anything. And I had just moved back to Seattle.
From where?
From New York. I lived in New York for a little over 6 years. Yeah, that was a good time. New York. Woo, miss you, Troy. Yeah, I had moved back to Seattle, and I just really hadn't found anybody that kind of had that New York attitude and that like willingness just to like go and like be weird and make art and just like for no reason, like just for the sake of creating something. And Gabby, being from New York, like totally, like I just really fell in love with her right away. But we did a couple of different weird art projects together, and very quickly it became apparent to me that she should be a singer. And she had never been in a band before. Did you have a question? Was that a let me ask something?
Yeah, yes. I just wanted to say. So, had you been playing drums?
No.
Before? Okay.
No.
So that okay.
Yeah.
Totally. Make sure you include that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, it all really started with my obsession with Gabby and just being like, okay, this girl needs a fucking microphone, and so. At the time, I was really into making mixtapes that had saxophone solos on them. Ooh. I was really into like a lot of, and I still really love a lot of 80s new wave. I like pop hits that just have a ripping sax solo, obvious, in excess.
Kay, what are some of your favorite saxophone solos?
Oh my god, I wouldn't even be able to tell you.
What are some of your
I'm
favorite
sure if
solos?
I heard one, I'd be like, this one's good.
Yeah, Romeo Void has a song with a
good.
sax solo in it. Like, you know, just like a good cut. Just like the sax is like, this is part of the hook of the song. And I think Gabby's response was, fuck a saxophone. She played flute in like her school band in the 4th grade, and she had to stop because it gave her headaches. So she was very, if my memory serves me right, she was a little resistant towards the idea of a sax in the beginning, but we had an adventure. We went up to Kennelly Keys in Linwood, and we rented a saxophone the same way you would rent one for band, and we took it down to the practice space. I was originally going to play bass, and our friend Benny Hill was going to play drums, and this is where the universe is crazy and wild, and our love story kind of begins with great tragedy. Benny actually passed away. He was really young, and he died in a fire. And Benny was a very important figure in Seattle. He was a kind person. He helped me move. He walked my dog for no reason, just because he liked her. Like, really amazing soul. And so that was like kind of like a big shock to Seattle and to our community, and it kind of put things at a standstill for a moment. But I had always wanted to play drums, and so I was like, well, I could play drums. And then I ended up buying this drum kit off of this Christian heavy metal band.
So it was blessed.
It was hella fucking blessed. It was a D drum kit, and I bought it off this guy for like $400. And then I knew Troy from the dog park. Our dogs played together, and Gabby and Troy had met and had done some gallivanting to Portland for psych festivals and things like that. And I think Gabby actually asked Troy to come into Stickers, and that's really how it started.
And so you were a 3-piece for quite some time.
Yeah, for I think a little over 3 years. Hey.
Listeners, if you hear any distractions, there's a very special guest in the studio. Emily, why don't you introduce our very special guest?
It's Lucy. Lucy.
She found a cat toy. This is my dog, Lucy. Her birthday's next weekend. She'll be 2 years old.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, she's a good girl, but she's crazy.
So Stickers, at least especially when you're a 3-piece, it seemed like the three of you spent a lot of time together. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, like a lot of time together. We practiced, I mean, I would say at least 3 times a week. I think like when our schedules were kind of jiving together, if you will. Like, if we had the opportunity to be together and play, we were down there playing. And, like, oh my God, like, it was the most special friendship ever. It was just like, I don't know, we just loved the shred. And yeah, we just started basically ripping out the jams, no problem.
And then so I think one of the vibrations sets that you did, I think that you played with other people.
Yeah, Stickers Plus.
That's Stickers Plus. How did that come about? And what did it sound like?
Stickers Plus happened, I think, we were sharing our practice space with this amazing band, White Coward, at the time. So there was always 2 drum sets set up, and sometimes, like, our practice times would overlap. And Anthony, the drummer of White Coward, would just maybe sit down and play with me while I was playing Stickers songs. And basically, because it was the most righteous, powerful... I mean, Gabby being backed by 2 fucking drummers and Troy, like, it was just... I don't even know. Like, it was super, super punk, but it was, like, also, like, rock arena appropriate. You know what I mean? It was a lot of power that we were really banging it out. So we did it, I mean, mostly just because it was silly and it was fun and we were all friends. And yeah, Stickers Plus, Anthony, he played drums, double drums with us, actually, for a couple times. Like, just why not? You know, and very quickly became, like, an unofficial member of the band.
And then not too long after that, you actually became a 4-piece.
Yes.
How did that happen?
Same deal. I think we were doing a Stickers Plus show and we asked Colin to come.
So did he play with you at Vibrations? For some reason I thought he did.
He did play a Vibrations show with me. I don't know if that was a Stickers Plus. That's what happened. I know we did a double drum show with Colin. We called it Stickers Plus. So if it was just Anthony, it was Stickers Plus. If it was Anthony and Colin, it was Stickers Plus. We did one show plus at the Inn, which is that crazy house at the top of the hill, and then one at the Black Lodge. I remember that for sure. Maybe there were more, and it's a little foggy.
Okay.
But I think it just happened, like, in the same manner, just kind of weird and natural and organic. I also kind of think, like, at Haunted Horses practices and things like that, like, they would play Stickers songs because everybody just wanted to be in Stickers. But then Colin would just, like, rip these amazing guitar riffs and, like, come up with stuff. I think it originally started with our song Jump Rope. He wrote a guitar part. Oh, and also Colin recorded us. That's also what happened. He recorded us as a 3-piece, and then, like, while we would be, like, listening back to tracks, he'd, like, hang out with his acoustic guitar. And, like, play, like, guitar riffs over it, being like, you know, I'm just noodling around, and we were all just like, what are you doing? Like, so we probably asked him to do a plus show, and I mean, like, the double drums was amazing, and I love that as an experience that we had, but with Colin, it became very apparent right away that when he wasn't playing with us, we noticed. And I remember having to have that conversation.
So wait. I'm very interested in this. So how was this first vocalized with the band? Like, was it at practice and, like, there was just the hum of the amplifiers and someone's like, Colin's not here.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you as a band discuss that?
Totally.
Yeah.
And it was tough, you know what I mean? We were such, like, a bubble of love and had never had any drama, and we were very protective of each other and our space, for sure. I think we knew there wasn't a moment in Stickers where I didn't know what I had was unique and special, like, on a relationship level. Yeah. So I just remember being at practice one day and being about to, like, leave, or maybe we were gonna go smoke or something. I just remember being by the door and, like, grabbing the doorknob and being like, you guys, wait, we need to talk. We need to talk about Colin. Like, we need to, what we call him, Cobra. But I was like, I think I used the words, can we keep him? And everybody was very, like, on the same page and receptive right away. It was, like, definitely a big transition in the dynamic of our band and in the sound of the band, but it was very organic.
Okay, so then how did you approach him? Do you take him out, wine him and dine him, and then get him to agree to us?
Right, probably.
Because, I mean, he was in Haunted Horses spending a lot of... band was very busy. And asking someone to join your band, that's... Especially a band...
A very busy band.
A very busy band, yeah. Asking someone to double their workload.
Yeah.
Is a big ask.
Yeah.
So how did you folks go about doing that?
I'm trying to remember. I think maybe we just started like putting him in the group text of like band practice tonight, 8:30 type of deal, and just kind of like being you are showing up, right?
So he joined the band before you told him. It's like, oh, shit,
Right.
band practice, I gotta go.
And we also had recorded some tracks at Crybaby Studios, and I remember going back in and like we had recorded live as a 3-piece, and we ended up having Colin come in and overdubbing his tracks. I believe that's the way it happened. But like we very quickly were like, all right, it's time for you. I think it was right before we recorded Swollen.
Swollen, your like, amazing LP out on End of Time Records.
Yeah.
Fantastic record. That came out. Great record. Everyone enjoyed it. People still talking about it. Now,
are they?
They are. Trust me. So
we are.
So now, like,
if Danny's talking about it.
So I'm curious because right now you folks are on a hiatus. Mm-hmm. Tell our listeners why you're on a hiatus.
So we're on hiatus because you know that's the way shit goes. Our bandmate Troy moved to New York. God, I feel like it's been probably a year. Has it been a year?
It's probably been about a year.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, so it was like one of those things where I kind of knew his life was going in a direction where there was gonna be change. And I'm super supportive of
so
that.
like, did you like start going over his house and you start seeing like New York posters on the wall?
Kind of,
and him being
totally.
like, you can't get bagels in Seattle. It fucking sucks.
Well, sort
like,
of, and I'm just gonna tell it like it is, because this is really the way in my this is just me being honest. Troy got married to a beautiful woman named Ocean, who we love and who is young and gorgeous and talented, and she went to beauty school. And I totally understand, because when I was fucking 19, the first thing I did was I took my $300 and I bought a plane ticket to New York, and I was like, peace, motherfuckers. Like, so, I mean, Troy's from Reno, so he's, moved out of his hometown, but Ocean is from Seattle. She's from the Northwest. So, like, she really needed to, like, I knew it was going to happen. It's, like, natural. And she graduated school. She did everything right. She's super perfect. Like, fucking got them. But the thing was like, I would hear their friends talking about them moving to New York, but Troy hadn't told the fucking band that this was happening. And
it's scary.
It's scary. And I understand. I totally get it. He was in denial. He was. How could he leave his stickers?
Yeah.
He didn't want to leave stickers. That was, and I can understand why it was hard. And plus, like, it was probably like details had to get hashed out and all this stuff. Like, I think maybe he didn't want to like impose like a threat to our unit until he was 100% sure.
And also, I mean, so when I was dating someone when I lived in Cleveland, and we decided to move to Seattle, and then from the time we decided that we were going to move till we did it was like 9 months, and we decided not to tell anyone until we were going to really, really, really do it, because you don't want to be that person that talks about moving and then doesn't. Like that person who like for 4 months they're talking about how they're moving to New York and then they change their mind.
Totally.
Then it's annoying. So to his defense, I can kind of see like...
I did that for like 4 years, but at least I finally did it.
Oh, you talked about moving for 4 years? Was it always Seattle?
Yeah.
Was it always Seattle?
Dallas?
Yeah.
I've been to Dallas. I saw the Beastie Boys in Dallas when I was a motherfucking teenager.
I've seen a Beastie Boys cover band in Dallas. They're like a Dallas-based Beastie Boys cover band. We have so many weird cover bands.
That's fucking Beastie Boys. That is truly weird.
Yeah, they're called Ryman and Steelin', and then we have a Cure cover band called Le Cure.
If you're in either of those bands and you're on tour and you come to Seattle, please let me know, and you can come to the studios and come on the show.
Yes, please.
So the reason I was asking about that, besides informing our listeners, is because now you have a new record coming out called Joy.
Fuck yes, we do.
Now, what is the timeline between like that being recorded and Troy breaking the news to you?
Oh, forgive me, because I'm so stoned all the time, but especially in stickers. I mean, like, I think we knew.
So when you were recording?
I think we knew when we were recording.
Okay.
And I think it was, I want to say it was probably maybe like 6 months or so before Troy left. He was definitely around for like the entire mixing and mastering and the artwork, and we released a cassette and we did like a bunch of stuff with Joy. We did as much as we could before he left.
Because I think it was either your second to last show, or was your last show at Chop Suey or the Black Lodge?
It was the Black Lodge, but we did 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Chop Suey show, I got a cassette copy of Joy, and I thought that was going to be it. Like, I didn't know that you folks were pressing on. Oh, it's part of the pun. Pressing on to make the record. So was that like a hard decision, or did you always know that, like, no, this is going to come out on record? Like,
I mean, it wasn't a hard decision, because if it has the opportunity to come out on vinyl, you press it to fucking vinyl.
Hell yeah.
True. You know, money and other things. But it really just worked out. Stickers. We had done a tour. We had done a few things where we had a little bit of a cushion in our band fund. Which most of that, I think, went to Eric Blood. We paid Eric out of pocket to do our record for us. And then when that happened, I think after our last couple shows, like, because we got paid for those bye-bye shows or whatever, and hiatus shows, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then I think that's when we decided we had enough money to do 200, which means you can only get it pressed to vinyl, but you can't get it like packaged. So then you know what I mean? It was like such a small run, but still, we got 200 records, motherfuckers.
Well, $199. I got one in my room.
Yeah.
I was at the Black Lodge show though. I remember that vividly.
That was a pretty sweaty show.
Pretty vividly. Yeah, I was. Who did you guys play with at the Black Lodge show?
Was Wimps
Was
playing?
it Wimps? I'm pretty
Wimps
sure
played.
it was Wimps. Because if I was sweaty, Wimps was playing.
I'm almost sure it was
I'm
Wimps,
pretty
but I'm not
sure.
sure.
I was probably very drunk. But there were definitely Snapchat stories of it somewhere. Not that exists anymore. Because it's Snapchat. It disappears.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I think
Wimps,
I'm
VHS
pretty sure,
maybe.
Yeah, I'm
Was
pretty
it-
sure.
I
it's
can't remember.
I
It
think
was a bunch of
definitely
buddies.
Wimps. Yeah.
And then at Chop Suey, we had requested Display, which was definitely one of our favorite bands to play with. And, God, who else? I'm such a tag! We've played with so many good bands. It's so hard to remember. But yeah, we were very much like, who's like the most available romantic band. And I definitely remember Wimps. Yeah.
For sure.
Now that the band's over, are you shredding with anyone else?
Yes, motherfucker. I'm so excited.
Is this a scoop? Can you say who it is?
Yeah,
Or
I'm
is it
gonna
still-
I'm gonna go ahead and fucking talk about it.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Well, and because it's sensitive, because like literally I think up until about 2 weeks ago, like I wasn't ready. I know it sounds so cheesy, but it's like I still have that like really innate like need to be loud, like I need to shred, like that hasn't gone away, but like that like, you know, trying to like form a band is kind of like dating, and like I don't know, I feel like I lost like the love of my life. Like it's hard for me to like even try to get back out and play the field. You know what I mean?
No,
like it
yeah.
sucks. So I brought stickers with me, Gabby and Colin.
Okay.
So I still got like my stickies, but we've just basically been shredding with different people. We've been consistently shredding with Jim, who plays in Male Female, which is one of my favorite bands on the scene right now.
Playing on Sunday. I don't think I'll have this out in time.
Yeah, I can't fucking go. I have to fucking teach. But yeah, they play on Sunday, but they're also playing a show at Cairo really soon. They play around a bunch, and they are fucking awesome, fantastic, great songwriters, great songs. So we've been consistently playing with Jim. He was one that I really was like, this guy's super special. Like, we have to play music with him. But we've been kind of bringing in other people as well. Last week, we shredded all together with Dean.
Oh boy.
Natural Helpers and Tissue.
That's good.
And that was so much fun because I've just loved him as a drummer for so long. And it's just fun to watch other drummers play. Oh, and I've also been playing bass. I'm kind of like, I'm not totally opposed to playing drums in another band, but I'm kind of also like, I don't know, I'm just, I'm playing the field. I'm trying on new things.
Yeah.
And Anthony, Stickers Plus, from White Coward, has moved back from Singapore
Oh
and
my
Australia.
goodness.
He's back. We're set to shred
Whoa.
next Saturday.
Whoa.
Yeah, so the romance is in the air. I'm feeling
and
it.
summer's coming up, so everyone goes crazy during summer.
Yeah.
So this is good. This is exciting.
Yeah, so stickers are still there and just shredding with old buddies. And I don't know. Like, I'm definitely open, and I'm not going to, like, try to force or control anything to happen, but I think I'm ready to be in a band again.
I'm ready for those sweaty summer shows. I'm ready to shred in the summertime. Yes.
I'm also ready to drink beer on front porches. But so, yes, Joy, the new Stickers record, the release party is going to be at the Bait Shop. I'll be DJing from 9 to 11. Brett will be DJing after that. And Stickers will be hanging out. Is Lucy going to come?
Yeah, Lucy will totally be there.
One tip, Lucy is a black dog. If you take a black dog into the photo booth, it does not work out. One time I was there with, it was someone's birthday party, and they had their dog there. And I'm like, I want to take the dog in the photo booth because I thought it'd be funny, like, dog in the photo booth photos.
Do dogs not like flashes?
No, it's just that the way the film is, it was just like two eyes. Like, there's no definition to the dog's face.
Lucy,
so
we're gonna get your picture taken.
So maybe she'll have better luck with it.
You look scary.
But shredding is not your only physical outlet. You are also the driving force behind Poseurs.
Yes.
Will you tell our listeners what Poseurs is?
Yes. Poseurs is a community donation based. It's a donation based yoga community. It's punk rock in spirit. It's a yoga community, I guess, to keep it light.
Well, so the first time that I found out about it was you were dropping off copies of the Poseurs fanzine.
Yeah.
So how did you decide to go from just doing? Well, how is Poseurs a little bit different than a typical yoga class?
Totally.
Or is it just the location and the vibe?
I think every yoga class and every yoga teacher is gonna have a different intention and offer you something a little bit unique. Poseurs started because as a yoga fanzine, I did a yoga teacher training. I've been a practicing yogi for a while and took some extra cash and did a teacher training because I really love the practice of yoga. I want everyone to do yoga.
When was the first time you did yoga? How long ago?
God, I did it in New York when I was in my early 20s in like the weirdest. It was almost like an office building. It was like before yoga was popular.
Yeah. So how long before you how long between that and when you started like teaching yoga? Like when did you realize you were going to take yoga like it's more seriously? Is that like a way to say it?
Totally. I would say that was probably around 5 years ago or so. Like, not to be super cheesy, but I went through a pretty bumpy time in my life, and I really think that my practice, like giving me that space just to get really, really clear and really grounded and meditate and all that stuff, like I was just sort of like, whoa, like, I mean, it's breathing and stretching, but it's fucking powerful medicine, and life is crazy and it's hard, and I really found something super special in my practice, and it helped me kind of ride through a pretty intense time in my life, and coming out of that, the stars aligned. I ended up getting a little bit of extra money in my bank account, and there was a teacher training being offered where I didn't hate the teachers. And,
that's always important.
So I signed up and I did it, and it wasn't necessarily my intention to teach. Like, I kind of had been teaching, like, especially to like the punk community, because they knew, Emily likes yoga, but for them, $20 is like a ticket to a show, a pizza, and like a couple beers. It's not like I'm gonna go fucking put on a sports bra and touch my toes, bitch. Like, not gonna happen. So I was like teaching like kind of like punk rock yoga on my roof and stuff, just like real basics shit, sun salutations and things like that. Then I went through my teacher training, and it was on my last day of my teacher training. You had to give all of your classmates basically a gift. Yeah. And so I made the first Poseurs yoga zine.
Interesting. Very, very cool. Very interesting. And then so what made you decide to make a second one?
I really loved making the first one. I had so much fun just being like, because I think there's this like very we've appropriated yoga so much in the West into this form of physical exercise. And that's not really for everybody. But yoga is for everybody. And I was like, I'm going to be the motherfucker that stands up and tells you that like it's not fucking the asana, the postures it's a physical practice which will have physical results, but yoga is so much more than that. And I just really wanted to educate maybe the people from my community that wouldn't naturally gravitate towards this, to let them know, like, shredding is yoga. Yeah. We've all had the yogic experience. Yoga isn't everything. You know, this is just one language that we use for it.
I honestly, the first time I heard about Poseurs, that was like the first time where I was like, oh, I would like actually go to yoga.
Totally. Thank
like
you.
I stretch and meditate at home, like by myself a lot, but that's like the first place where I was like, that sounds fucking rad. Like with a bunch of people that I know, and like everyone's hella chill, and
totally.
like, and it's not a bunch of moms.
You've been to Poseurs.
I was gonna say I've been to Poseurs, and it was great because it was basically like going to a show. Because I'm like, oh, I sort of recognize you, and like people like nod, like you like sort of recognize people. And then also what was really good, and this was just the luck of the draw, was it was my first time I've ever been to a yoga class, and to my left was my girlfriend who I went there with, and then to my right was Morgan from VHS. And I was really happy about that because I was like, okay, he won't think it's weird if I'm like watching to make sure I'm doing things right.
Yeah.
And I was just really glad that it wasn't like a stranger, and it like wasn't a woman next to me,
right?
Because like then I'd feel weird if she caught me like looking. But I was really just want to make sure that I was like going in the right direction.
Totally.
And yeah, I've seen the drummer from VHS was there. Justin goes, and so it's great because I think if you're a dude and you're kind of nervous about going to a yoga class, this is the one to go to.
Yeah,
it's really really comfortable. And everyone's really nice. And
I've heard nothing but good things from dudes, honestly, about Poseurs. Like, those are, like, most of the people that I know that have gone that are like, oh my god.
Well, and I think especially, it's funny. I guess I didn't really realize that, but I have a couple of Dream Decay members that come, and, like, it's like, dudes, totally. Like, yoga is such, like, a weird, vulnerable place anyway, and then you're surrounded by a bunch of, like, really, like, you know, fit, intense white women, and then, you know, like, there's a lot of reasons to kind of, like, be like, ugh. But as shredders, especially, like, oh my god, like, we aren't getting any younger. Like, pause, stretch, lean into it, listen to your body, regulate your breathing. Like, we can really take that with us out into the shred and, like, be, like, way more competent musicians and, like, more effective.
And then you've also literally combined music and yoga by doing noise yoga. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Totally. Noise yoga was actually created by this guy, Gabriel. He did a lot of work with Hollow Earth Radio. He's a cool weirdo, big noise enthusiast. And so he started noise yoga at Washington Hall, where he was pairing noise bands with asana practice. And they did, I think, three classes there. And then Washington Hall got closed for renovations, and the teacher that he had leading the class, I think, wasn't certified, and the response was so big that he was like, oh god, so he asked me to come in because he knew I was certified. And I was like, fuck yes, motherfucker, this is the coolest shit ever. And then we shopped it around. We didn't shop it around, that's not the right term. We were begging venues to host us, and randomly the Fry invited us. Yeah. They found out about it, and they asked us to come. Yeah, so we did noise yoga in the fucking Fry Museum.
So describe kind of what the musicians are doing.
Everyone was so different. It was so weird. It was so cool. Anything from, like, we had one group that was, like, live horns. It was super abrasive. To, like, we had one artist who came in before the series, recorded the sounds of the room. Speaking of sounds of the room, this is my dog eating a cat toy. Crinkle, crinkle. And then he took those sounds and then turned them into, like, fucking buttons or whatever, and he played the room.
That's pretty
live.
Cool.
So sometimes it was really ambient and soft. Sometimes it was more, like, droney, gazy. We had some surprises for one session that was really cool and really loud. So I never really knew, you know, it's like I could maybe, like, check out their, like, band camp or whatever, but for most part, noise artists, like, really just go live. Yeah. So I never really knew what we were going to be experiencing until we were in it. But I think that was really, like, the beautiful reason it works so well with yoga was it was very much about just, like, present moment mindfulness, like, being open to the experience as it's happening. And noise is such a wonderful... In yoga, there's actually a practice called Nada Yoga, and it's the yoga of sound, and it's meditating on listening to sounds, and you learn to focus in on that so much that you can take that focus inwards and listen to the sound of your own body. Fucking trippy.
Very much so. So now, when you're doing the regular Poseurs, you have to rent space, right?
Yes.
How is renting the space? In other words, have you ever found poop?
Yes, I have. Fucking yoga teacher problems. So I've rented space from all sorts of different places, and we've taught yoga in all sorts of weird ass motherfucking places. But most of our classes right now are up at Dance Underground on 15th, which is an amazing studio. It's primarily a tango studio, and it's beautiful, and it's clean, and it's kept up, and there's bathrooms, and it's really, really nice. Anywho, so it's in a basement.
I work down the street.
Oh, you do? Where?
At Cafe Ladro.
Oh, okay, cool, totally.
Get a lot of the Poseurs people coming through.
Poseurs coffee?
Yeah, totally. But yeah, so this one time, so on Thursdays I teach 2 classes. So at 7:15 I let one class out, and then at 8 p.m. another class comes in. And at 7:15 I like open the door, and like I was like, and I literally like my thought was like, somebody ate broccoli. Like that was like, I just like immediately was so abrasive that like I had to like give it like a definite source, you know what I mean? I was like, somebody's eating broccoli, and we did a lot of twists today, and like it smells like fucking shit in here. Let me like air it out a little bit. And then luckily one of my students came super early for the next class. Yeah. And she was like, there's motherfucking poop at the top of the stairs. This is what you're talking about, right? Okay, cool. I was all like, did you hear a different poop story?
No, that's it. This is the only poop story.
Okay.
Poop stories are there.
And I was like, oh my God. And it was human poo at the top of the stairs. And it really, really sucked. I mean, like, it sucks because, first of all, like, that sucks that, like, someone doesn't have a place to take a shit.
Yeah. No one wants to poop in public.
Yeah, like, that's dark, dude. And it also kind of sucked because I was just like, man, if you just walk down the stairs, there's, like, a pretty nice toilet with paper and things like that, and sink. But yeah, so yoga teacher problems. I ask people to fucking breathe deeply, as like that's like if you do nothing else, breathe with intention. And here I am, it's just like.
So wait, what's this dope moments that I've been hearing about?
So, dope moments is super fucking cool. So, as we all know, the world is a little bit crazy as F right now. And we all want to do something to help or make a difference and to not fucking shoot ourselves in the face. So it was Colin. He was like, you should really do something with Poseurs, like, to kind of like raise awareness or maybe like donate some money to some charities and things like that. And I was like, yeah, that's a really good idea. And so I kind of took a couple of my students who are newer teachers. They graduated from the Grinning Yogi teacher training in Seattle, and it's really, really beautiful yogis. And I was like, hey, what if we came together and we started a class called Dope Moments, and we'll pick a different organization every month that advocates for human rights, and we'll rotate the teachers and like bring in more community and raise money for these amazing charities. So it's pretty much me, and then I have 2 partners, Kelly Gilmore and Jeff Kennedy. Jeff books all the teachers. Kelly writes about the organizations for the zine. I obviously like host the whole fucking thing. And yeah, last month we all of our proceeds for our class went to the Northwest Immigrants' Rights Project. We raised $825.
Awesome.
Yeah, redefined what my version of wealth is. Not only to have $825, but then to write that check and give it to somebody for such an amazing cause was like literally an Oprah moment. It like kind of changed my life. So this month it is the Northwest Social Justice Fund. And these organizations are so powerful, so important. The people that work for them are so incredibly loving and brave and amazing. So, and all we have to do is come and lay down our mats, throw $5, $10, $20 in a box, and like the next thing you know, you've been able to make a huge, huge difference. So it's Thursday nights, 8 p.m., Dope Moments, all levels, vinyasa, come as you are.
Where at?
Dance Underground.
Okay. And if people wanted to know more about Poseurs or find out the schedule,
totally,
where would they go?
They would go to www.poseurs.us. That's POSEURS. And on social media, it's at Poseurs Yoga. Again, Poseurs.
And you also got merch, don't you?
Yeah, there's hella merch and shit. There's like t-shirts. There's a bunch of dumb shit. Some of it's, it's not dumb. It's really, really cool. But
I think it's pretty nice.
It's awesome.
And do you design all that stuff?
Yeah, I design all of it. It's awesome. And the zine is, I do all the layouts and all that stuff. But this is really community funded. Not only is it everything donation based, and so obviously all the sales from any sort of merch or whatever goes back into funding the community classes. But it's also the community that writes for the zine. So it's grown into something much bigger than just Emily's idea of punk rock yoga. It's a whole community that's advocating for social justice and just, starting with the self and like being more patient, better, open people.
So now the important question. If they were going to make a movie about posers, who would play you in the movie?
Oh, God. Who would play me in the movie of Posers?
Be such a great movie title too. Just Posers with a U.
I want to think of somebody super cool. Like my initial, like my dream would be like Parker Posey.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think
Namaste, bitches.
Yeah, I think everyone's dream is to have Parker.
Yeah, pretty much Parker Posey.
Honestly, yeah.
In reality, I don't know, Miss Piggy. Like, let's
bring in the puppet.
That would be a hell of a movie to see Miss Piggy teaching yoga.
No, I feel like Miss Piggy's kind of a bitch. I'm not that much of a bitch, but yeah, I don't know. A nerd. Somebody hella nerdy.
I think Parker Posey fits perfectly.
Oh, totally. I can see
Oh
that.
my god.
Lucy
really wants this cat toy. I'm sorry. Whoa.
She thinks you're gonna throw it for her.
Yeah, I know. Well, I should just do it then. Okay, then the very...
Oh my god.
Lucy. Sit.
Very, very important question. Where in Seattle do you like to get your coffee?
I like to get my coffee from Analog Coffee.
Yes.
They
friends of the show. They were on the show.
Are they?
They've been on the show. Yeah,
That's so great.
We did a whole interview with
They're
them.
so great. Actually, some of my first yoga students ever, when I graduated my teacher training, were the Analog team. Aiden and Tim and Danny and Hannah, all of those guys. Lucy, you're being so annoying. Please drop it. I love you. Okay. I love Analog. They're great. Coffee's delicious. But I'm also a big fan of Avachi.
Oh, yes.
Like, that's just a fucking damn good cup of coffee.
It's very tasty.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
And they have dog treats, where Analog, I have to tie Lucy up.
Whoa.
What?
Oh,
I said it. But that's alright. Lucy has been known. She threw up in a QFC once, so...
You know what? Wait, was it the one on Pike and Broadway? Because I'd throw up in that one too, just because that one's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I can imagine it's been more than just the dog throwing up in that.
It wasn't that one, but it's okay. Where do you like to get coffee?
Well,
actually, you know what? I'm really sorry, but we are out of time. The next show needs to take the studio. So, yes, wrapping up May 9th. Come to the Bait Shop and hear and buy the new Stickers record and hobnob with 3/4 of the band. Every Tuesday and Thursdays, go to Posers. And Kate, you got anything coming up besides tonight?
Yeah, Wednesday, May 10th, DJing at Revolver from 5 to 9.
Sounds good. Well, it's been another week of Accents on Purpose. Email us at accentsonpurposepodcast@gmail.com. Facebook, YouTube, blah, blah, blah.
This has been a podcast presented by
Hard to Find Media.
Subscribe to Hard to Find Media on youtube.com/Hard to Find Media Network. This shit is free. Share it. Blast it. Fuck it.